Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all. It's GEEP Variety Show. And now, here's your host, GEEP. Da 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 ha da da ya da da ba da dun dun jacka jung jung. Hello everybody! GEEP here of GEEP Variety Show. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good myself, actually. Got a great show for you tonight. Got a couple of awesome guests, very mellow folk. But before we get to that, let's see what's in the news today. So, there's a new product of shoes in the shoe market. Hiking shoes, the kind you use, to climb mountains and stuff like that. Evidently, their spikes are so potent, powerful, pointed, sturdy, take your pick, that you can literally walk up the mountain without using your hands. You just gotta have strong legs. It's not recommended, but you can. And as a result, many people have tried to do it without their hands because people are stupid. And many people fell to their deaths, not because the shoes were ineffective. The shoes stuck to those mountainsides perfectly. No, they fell down because their feet fell out of the shoes and they didn't tie the shoes tight enough. Operator error, they say. So, the shoes are great. People could learn a thing or two. Unfortunate. In other news, a VTuber. Now, this is a completely fictional VTuber, only unique to the world. Well, not fictional. This VTuber is in the world of GEEP, the universe of GEEP. But this VTuber accidentally revealed his face. Yes, he did. But he was such a convincing performer and actor that he convinced everybody watching him that actually it wasn't a face reveal, but more like a 2.0 model. He convinced them that his actual face was a state-of-the-art VTuber model. And they bought it. Bought it so much that the government was interested in his technology and took him prisoner and interrogated him and told him how they can get such convincing technology. As a result, he told the truth and they let him go. It was horrifying for him, and now he's just streaming normally without being a VTuber and just, yeah. Poor guy. Now, in some slightly more uplifting news, there is a zombie island, so to speak. Literally a zombie island. It is called Z Island, and it's in my world. The zombie island is monitored for its actual zombie inhabitants. They change you from biting you, so on and so forth. They create brains, the usual zombie shtick. But it's an actual island, and no one can get really close to it because the zombies are so deadly and intelligent and wacky, and it's just not a good vacation spot. But what happened in this, though, is that there were some human survivors who first got stranded on the island, then got off the island, and they were rescued by a zombie-eating shark. They call them the Z-Sharks, and the zombie-eating shark just chomped away at the zombies, and the boat just made it back to safety. So that's a good story. Zombie-eating shark saved a boat of survivors. Now, that survivors were a bunch of movie enthusiasts, a bunch of zombie enthusiasts. So they understood the whole way to survive a zombie apocalypse, or in this case, zombie island. And they knew some of the people in their boat were naturally hazardous. You had, like, the people too close to a zombie-bitten victim to let go, so they become a hazard. So they threw that person overboard. And there's also the seemingly logical guy, but is really just full of it and would throw you under the bus at a moment's notice. Yeah, they threw him overboard, too. So, none of the zombie cliches was going to capsize that lifeboat. So, everyone made it safe. The shark showed up, ate the people they threw over, and ate the zombies who came after them. So, watch a lot of zombie movies, and you can survive, so long as you have a zombie-eating shark. And that's the news for today. We got a great show for you here tonight. My guest, well, let's just move on to the spot where I can introduce them to y'all. Nyang, 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 nyang. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna move on in a moment, in just a little moment. And I'm shrinking now, and I'm getting ready for the spot, and we're gonna transition. That's right, folks. Right above my head is tonight's guest. Now he's got his other side of the coin in the VTuber lore, his dance partner, his buddy, his pal, whatever you want to call her, but she's the other half. She's awesome. But first, let's introduce him. He dances. He's into aviation. He's got a sleek design. Everyone, give a warm welcome for SOLBADGREG! Hello! Oh, hold on a second. I gotta also unmute my end. There you go. There you go. You should be able to talk now. Give
Hey!
it up.
Hello.
And
going,
now, it's going great. And let's bring his dance partner, Anya! Give it up, folks. Come on. Come on. You know you want.
Hey!
You know you wanna. Hey, Fig,
Good to see you,
welcome.
Anya.
It's great to be here.
Great to have
to
you.
see you.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Anya, how you doing?
Doing actually very well, thank you. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for showing up on the show for my viewers and whatnot. Thank you for hosting as well, Greg. Greg. I'll hop around from that name.
You could say, yeah, you could say either one. They're it's fine.
Yeah, everything but bad. I like, I just keep jumping. You go with bad. How are you, Anya? You said you're good, right? Pretty good. So. Anya?
A little nervous to be here, but I am good.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, at least she's honest, so don't worry about it, Anya. We'll just start off with some nice little simple icebreaker questions. This one's for both of you. What's your favorite and least favorite food? Greg, you take it away first.
Oh, gosh, my favorite food?
Yeah.
Let's see. That would have to be. I'm gonna say pizza.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
what kind?
definitely. Usually pepperoni, but it can go into a little more of a variety of like what's it, barbecue, bacon, bit of cheese, all that type of stuff. But oh yeah, and sometimes like chicken, But usually pepperoni pizza. That usually hits the spot for me. So.
Ooh, pepperoni, nice. I got a friend. And do you have a least favorite, or just one like a yuck kind of thing for you?
I as far as all the type of pizzas I've had, like I don't like combination. I just
okay.
I'm okay. Yeah.
There's no need for all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, no combo here.
There you have it, folks. Ever go out pizza nighting with Soul in the VTuber world? Pepperoni. Stay away from the combos.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. And look, his hands move. Not many of my VTuber guests do that.
Oh yeah.
And very fluently too. Nice. Anya, are you okay with sharing us one of your favorites and least favorite foods? You got that good?
Finally, it's also pepperoni pizza.
Hey! There's a reason you're the other half of his coin.
Duh.
And the yucko side of food?
Not the biggest fans of salad.
Oh.
Really, salad? You never told me you weren't a fan of salad.
Yeah, not the biggest fan.
Fig asks, and Fig's his nickname. Otherwise, his name is pronounced Kenir Fig. That's just it's a Welsh spelling.
Sure.
He said he's asking, what about pineapple on pizza? The controversial question. Are my guests willing to answer that, or shall we leave it ambiguous?
So pineapple on pizza. It's like I don't hate it. I'd prefer not to have it on there, but I'm not gonna flip out and like throw the whole pizza away if there's pineapple on it. I can eat it, or I can just take it off. It's no biggie.
Well, see, there you go, folks. So not the biggest fan, but he's not grossed out by it either. So
Yeah, I mean, I like to play into the memes of oh no, this person put pineapple on their pizza, rip, that stuff's funny, but I don't really care, honestly. You like pepperoni, or you like pineapple on pizza, that's fine.
Cool. And what about you, Anya? How do you feel about it?
I don't mind it. I'm not the biggest fan. I prefer to have my pineapple on the side because I do love pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
But I will eat it alone.
There you go. So, hello, Usu. Pineapple on pizza is good. Yes, Usu likes it. Yes, she and Fig are, you could also say, two sides of the same coin.
Nice.
In a different way, of course. But I'll let them tell you that on their own time. Everyone knows that already. So, but today is about you, not about the chat. So I'm sorry, chat, but you're not tonight's guest. It's Sol and Anya. I gotta spoil
Chat sounds
them.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, they're good folk. So in regards to your name, SOLBADGREG, how did that inspiration come from that?
Oh gosh. All right. Let me tell you a story. Let me spin you a tale.
All right, let's just kick
So
our
when
feet
I
up
was
on you and listen.
so when I was a wee lad, I go to anime conventions a lot. I still do. Well, when they open back up, anyways. Um, every year I would have to figure out. All right, there's a fan name. I got to put in a fan name. You got to write in a fan name.
Yeah.
For when you do like a pre-reg pass. You get the fancy badges. And
Sure.
so I put all sorts of silly names on there and stuff like that. Like, oh gosh, what am I gonna put on this? Put on this year. One time I went to specifically an anime convention called Fanime. That's a pretty fun one. That one's in San Jose.
Cool.
And I got into a fighting game series. It was the first time I've ever seen it, like the arcade version of it, at this anime convention. It was Guilty Gear Double X, and in it was a character named Guy.
Guy?
And
Oh, what was the name you said?
Soul Bad Guy is the character's name.
Oh, okay, Soul Bad Guy. Sorry, you glitched out there. Okay, got it. Soul Bad Guy. Go on.
Yeah. So, I saw a character, and then eventually, like later on, I started watching like combo videos and stuff because I wanted to play this game. This game looked awesome, and I wanted to learn how to, be good at the characters in this game, how to combo how to combo with characters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the combo videos I had, which had really cool music link to it, was one of Soul Bad Guys. And eventually, I was like, you know what? I should learn how to play this guy. This guy looks awesome. And so the following year, when I come back to that same anime convention,
Yeah.
I got my pre-reg, I got my badge, I need to figure out a fan name. It's like, wait a minute. Soul Bad Greg.
Oh.
That sounds stupid enough to work. Nobody's gonna have that name. And so, hey, I decided, all right, I'll have my name be Soul Bad Greg. And then I use that for, gosh, everything now, because nobody takes it. It's Soul Bad Greg.
Certainly.
Who's gonna take that name? So that became my name. It's on, as you can see on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube.
Yeah, up there. No one has it. There's no
No one
numbers.
has it.
There's no reason to change anything.
There's only one Soul Bad Greg in the world, and that's this guy. So yeah, that's me.
Perfect.
As my hands slowly flip out over there from the tracking.
There you go. So no, it worked out great. Your calculations of the uniqueness and the stupidity of Soul Bad Greg paid off.
Yes, I'm glad you think so.
Well, it worked. Like I said, there's only one. And
there's only one.
Anya, as your name is just Anya, I know that you're part of the lore of the creation of the opposite side of Soul here. So I think we'll skip the inspiration for your name as it was just crafted by Soul. Of course, you want to explain, or can Soul explain? Was that a little complicated? I rambled a little bit on that one. Bottom line is the inspiration for your name, Anya. Do you know the inspiration for your name?
Do you have anything on you, or did you want me to?
It's up to you to say.
Okay. Well.
Oh, one sec, Greg. Yes, Fig, you're not getting your chair back, and yes, please lurk away. Okay, there we go. You can go now.
As far as Anya's name goes, this will be a little bit of fourth wall break. Just a
little bit.
Yeah, kind of behind the kayfabe. Kayfabe's gonna get bent a little bit here. But the origin of Anya's name, Anya Pavlova, actually dates back to when I started running an RPG using a system called Tactical Waifu. And I needed a cast of characters, including a cast of antagonists that our heroes, our role players, would need to go up against in this ridiculous story that I crafted. Long story. But one of the characters became Anya Pavlova. Anya because it was close to, I think it was close to Anne. I was looking up different names at the time, and Anya sounded like it was a pretty good name for the character. And Pavlova because I was looking for last names that would fit like different like Eastern European kind of regions.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, what am I gonna have for Anya? Like, all right, let me think about this. And I was scrolling through Steam, just looking at games, and then up this one game comes up called Pavlov. I'm like, wait a minute.
I have it.
Okay, I'll take this. This makes sense to me somehow. I'll call her Anya Pavlova. And that's how the name Anya Pavlova was born. So
There you have it, folks. Quite a journey, and good job recollecting on everything. You can walk us through the tales of it all. Very detailed, very vivid. So it's a good way to tell a story. Nice, nice. So there you go, Anya. In case you didn't know, I don't know why you wouldn't, because you are Anya, but there you have it. It's now information in your mind. Let's go into one that will start off with Anya to answer the question. What has been the easiest and hardest thing for you since becoming a VTuber?
Keeping up with schedules.
Hardest or easiest?
Hardest.
Ah, yes. Schedules are rough.
Very rough. It's just very difficult to keep going and going and going consistently.
Oh yeah, I can relate. Even though I only do this twice a week, it's still rough on my sleep and whatnot. And mentally, you're just like, am I prepared enough? Or, So, scheduling. Yeah.
But it is surprisingly easy to collaborate with others in a creative sense and just in a sense of you're playing with friends.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's been surprisingly easy for myself when collaborating. I got nervous, asking others to help out, especially on here. Just asking Soul here is still nerve-wracking to me, even though I've had guests already, because I get worried that's like, they technically got more followers than me. I don't want to feel like a leech kind of thing. But it's just how I decided to run the show, like talk shows of old. So I gotta stay true to my direction as my style, so to speak. But it has been easy and very very kind receptions and whatnot. So it's been awesome.
That's good.
You wanna? Oh yeah, thank you. You got anything else you want to elaborate on that? Anya, that's it. The scheduling's the hardest, and collaborating's been easiest.
That's pretty much it.
All right, Soul. Same question to you.
Oh gosh. I actually gotta think about this. Let's see. As far as scheduling, I think scheduling has recently gotten kind of like crazy for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I've actually had to pull back on my streams just because it was starting to kind of overwhelm, my day-to-day activity, IRL.
Yeah.
And I started back in November, and
November debut.
up until and I looked completely different. I still Soul, but I had a 1.0 design that I created. This design here was like a hybrid between myself and my artist Wandaba99. But for how many months is that? 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, something like that. I would do streams for probably 4 days, maybe even 5 sometimes, and I'd have multiple people. Like it was getting to the point where almost every single day I had multiple collabs, multiple collabs per day, and it was fine with me, but just a lot of other stuff, stuff IRL, was starting to really kind of take its toll on me, and so I'm gonna be like, all right, let's pump the brakes a bit on how many times I stream, a week, I'll still stream if I'm like, yeah, sure, let's just throw the camera on and just have some fun. But as far as like trying to schedule it all out, it's like, all right, well, just maybe 2 to 3 days, and then if I feel like doing any more than that, then that's fine. But so that way I still have other stuff to do, because I'm also participating in like tournaments and stuff. I actually just started a Blood Bowl league at my local gaming store, so I'm going to be participating in that for every week for the next 12 weeks.
Wow.
So yeah,
busy
that'll be
man,
interesting.
busy man.
Yep, working, going to the gym, all that stuff. Just trying to balance all that stuff and try and be creative as well as stream. It got a bit much. I realized last week, I may have to slow down a little bit. But,
I'm sorry if showing up at the show might have been a little tense on you. I could have rescheduled or canceled.
This is great. This is great. Fridays is one of the days I always stream. Fridays tends to be the day I stream the most.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and then Fridays. Sometimes I was doing it Thursdays, but I kind of like limited on that, just the way I had some more time for myself to do things.
Sure.
But if I was feeling up to it, I'd be like, yeah, sure, maybe we can stream. But yeah, today is like the ideal day for me streaming. So this was perfect. So
great.
No worries, dude. No worries.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. Again, thank you for coming. And so there you have it, folks. Those are the two ones. I'll ask one more question, and then we can move on to the performance corner if the two of you are good with that.
Sure.
Yep.
Anya, you good? Yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to think of something if the chat is willing to participate. You don't have to, folks. You can lurk away. It's a lurk-friendly place, but... So the final one I will ask is, well, which one do you want to answer? I'll let you decide which one. What really got you into aviation, and if you can share like any real cool facts about that really grab you that a lot of people don't know, or do you want to explain what got you into dancing?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean,
unless you can run through them both in a good pace.
I could do both. Anya, should I do both? Do you think I should do both, or because I'm willing to talk about either one. That's fine.
How do you feel, Anya?
Should I answer both questions?
I missed the question. Wi-Fi went down for a moment.
Yeah, she's in a rough area right now. She's broadcasting out from South America right now. She's currently on operation down there for Freedom Academy. So it's more backstory for our VTubers.
There you have it, folks.
A lot of backstory.
She's multitasking right here, right? She's on a mission and starring on a show. So give her some extra support.
Yeah.
Three cheers for Anya right there, okay? Let's go into the aviation question. Yeah, the aviation question. Let's go with that one.
Okay. So he was asking me on whether or not I wanted to explain more about my love of aviation, or if I want to get more into how I got into dancing. And so, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with answering both.
All right, let's start off with the dancing.
Okay. So, growing up, I was, a big geek. Well, I mean, still am a big geek. I mean, yeah, Anya, you've known.
Yeah.
Painfully obvious to you sometimes.
Yeah.
But,
as if I mind.
Yeah.
She
confirms.
So,
yeah. So, growing up, dancing was just like, because the only thing I really knew of dancing back then was like, middle school dances. You know how awkward that stuff was back then.
Yeah.
So not my cup of tea, right?
Sure.
So eventually, I'm in college. Meet a good friend there, one of my best friends, and he's big on dancing. He did like Scottish country dancing, stuff like that when he was younger. And eventually some of his college friends got into the brand new dance venue that had opened up that year, which was swing dancing. And so he says, hey dude, you want to come, check out this place? We can, you can learn about dancing, meet some cool people, all that cool, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And so my answer up to that point usually would have been a no. But at this point in time, I was kind of thinking in my head, you know what? Why don't I like throw a completely 180 at him and just like answer like the exact opposite he's probably thinking I'm going to answer? And
Sure.
I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? Let's do it.
Nice.
being like, all right,
Was he
let's see what I can
surprised
get
when you threw that?
he was he was probably relieved that he wasn't gonna have to,
Go
like
alone.
really kind of, yeah, you sure, man? You sure you don't want this? I was like, yeah, sure, let's just do it.
There you go.
So, but yeah, that got me into swing dancing starting off, and then eventually that expanded out into ballroom dancing, and then more recently, like electronic dance music dancing,
Yeah.
like Melbourne Shuffle, stuff like that. So, yeah, that was honestly one of the probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Honestly, is you know, learning how to dance, building self-confidence, meeting new people. It's been great, you know. And I've been wanting to try and spread that, that kind of excitement that I felt getting into dancing, partner dancing specifically, with all my friends. So, because
And in the
yeah,
VTuber world,
not a
right?
whole lot of people, not a whole lot of people. Well, in the VTuber world and IRL,
Yeah. Totally. Gotta share what you love.
absolutely.
Hope you can find kindred spirits in that sense, like Anya here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a very spirited dancer. It's great to dance with her.
I would hope so. She is your partner. You gotta have a spirited partner for things to work.
Yep.
I wouldn't, call. Yeah.
Funnily,
Go on.
funnily enough, I started dancing with ballet,
Whoa. That's intense. That's
and
hard
then
work.
from there branched out into tap dancing,
Okay.
and here I am today.
Hey, you get to where you're at from whatever. You can come from anywhere and get to where you're at.
Mhm.
My tongue is a little twisted right there. Sorry about that, folks. Thank you, Gundam Wing 01. Thank you so much for following the show. Nice to
Oh.
see ya.
Oh, it's Gundam.
Is that an uh-oh?
That depends.
Oh.
I'll be actually be collabing with Gundam for Wildlands, which will
Ooh.
be after this show. So
Oh, double
yeah.
collab night. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, good to see you, Gundam.
Yeah, he says, what is that response, Soul? I'm guessing you two are good pals right now.
Yeah. He's actually he's also my channel moderator.
Ooh, okay.
So,
That's good. Then you got a good
yeah.
banter going on, kind of like how Fig is mine, and that
Yep.
bastard's just lurking now. So,
Yep.
I'll throw a question out to Anya since I didn't expect you to be here, and I'm so glad that you are, though. Any interesting hobbies that you can share with us, other than ballet dancing, that you've really taken to and continue to this day?
I love to build Gundam model kits.
Hey! Any
Oh, that's nice.
any particular like complicated ones that were like a great challenge, and when you finished, you felt like I accomplished it, yes, kind of thing.
Really, I love building Zaku and Zaku 2 models over and over and over again because one needs to give love to even the smallest foot soldier to have a big, powerful army.
That's absolutely true.
That's some words of wisdom right there.
Yes. Happy foot soldiers make happy invaders. Happy invaders make happy countries. That's really cool, actually. So Gundam, you should be happy about that. She likes building you, or your kind, at least. Okay, let's just segue into the aviation question. What is it about aviation that drew you for the first time? And if you can share with us any intriguing facts that you think most people don't know about aviation, go ahead, Sol. Take it away.
Well, I would have to say it all started with my father specifically because
Ooh.
he's a big aviation guy.
Okay.
Loves history of aviation, loves the modern,
He
just
loves
complexity of
birds.
aviation. Well, I mean, mechanical birds, sure, metal birds, the big ones that carry people, that occasionally like ferry people around or drop a bomb,
You could help build those.
Yeah. So I've actually built those, by the way. I actually just built one like last month.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, my dad, he's into aviation, especially like military aviation, all that type of technology and dogfighting and just
Sure.
all that kind of cool stuff. And my family actually has a history of serving with the Air Force,
Oh, okay.
like my grandfather. And so a lot of that kind of I guess kind of
Plays
rubbed
a
off on
role.
me, and
Yeah.
that's been yeah, and so that's been a growing passion of mine outside of like dancing and video games, and then being an artist and doing all this other stuff. It's also doing getting involved with just anything aviation wise, including one of the games I like to stream on my channel called DCS World, which is actually my highest watched video series that I would do for the channel, which involves realistic simulations of flying very complex military aircraft. They don't pull too many punches in that game. I can assure you. It is
They make you
it's
work for it.
complex. They make you work for it, but boy, when you can actually learn how to get your aircraft from started from a cold start, learn how to properly taxi, how to fly a mission, how to survive the mission, and then actually land back on the mission, with your limited resources and stuff in a complex simulation. It's incredibly satisfying for that, because it's like, wow, I did this. I did
Yeah.
something. It's like I don't just fly around in circles and hit a button to shoot everything down like you do in like Ace Combat, which I love, by the way. I love like those type of series. Those type of series are great when I just want to jump in and have fun, experience a wild story. But
Right.
like
But for
DCS
like the
World,
intense
oh yeah,
experience, like the more
oh
intensive
yeah,
experience, give you the simulator any day.
oh yeah. It's well, I mean, it depends on my mood,
Ah.
but it's like I guess it would have to be the equivalent of like somebody accomplishing like a Dark Souls game.
Ah, there
It's
you
like extremely
have.
challenging, but man, when you pull it off, it's like, yeah, I did this.
Yeah. Completely satisfying. I got
Yeah,
it.
and my audience seems to really enjoy it too, so I'm really happy for that as well. So
Awesome. Good audience. Enjoy the intensive simulations because Soul loves it. You should too. And if you don't, I'm going to look at you. And you don't want me looking at you because I kind of got a scary face. So it's like, I mean, you don't even
oh,
know what I am. So that's scary in and of itself. I don't even know what I am. I've been asked that question many a times, and I tell them that my parents just had me, and they don't even know. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just a Jeep.
there you go.
So that is pretty much it. Okay. I think that's all the questions we have here. Folks, now since the performance corner was not exactly prepared, we're gonna take probably maybe about, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20-minute break in between to get it prepped. Gives us time to set everything up, and Anya may be leaving at that point, so I'll let her say her goodbyes if that's the case. So just give us a moment, and
Bye,
we will.
everybody.
Yes. So there's a preemptive bye from Anya. You can say it one more time. Say it in Russian.
Нет.
Oh, denied. Okay, let's go on to. Let me just put up the standby. Get that ready so that way the people don't question my inability to use the OBS and whatnot. They can just assume I'm a master, which I am. Don't listen to me. Okay, there you go. So if anyone's got a stretch or a hydrate or whatnot, please feel free to stretch right now. Like I said, 10, 15, 20 minutes tops. I guarantee it. So come back and we'll be here definitely by the 20-minute mark. But you may miss something if you don't stick around. So grab yourself a snack or something, All right, I'm going to mute us right now. Hi, Maury. Just gotta say, thank you for joining us. We're just getting ready for the Improv Corner, so stick around. We're back, folks, and we are ready to put on the performance. Hey, how's it going, people? So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this, what this is we Soul and I put together a story, or at least I put together a story for us that Soul agrees upon, and all the dialogue is completely improv for the sake of comedy. So, the story is planned, the dialogue is improv, and so we have a tale to tell, and it's going to be good, hopefully. Hopefully, I get a good laugh and some entertainment. So, I'll start off with the narration, and thus Soul will be the first character you see. So let me disappear. Haha. Okay, I'm gone. Now let's
With the power of movie magic. Ooh. Jeep was once here, but he's no longer here. Thanks to the blue screen.
Exactly. See? He knows what he's doing. Soul is a pro. Alright, so. Oops. There we go. Let's just do that a little bit. Alright, so. Okay. So, today's story is Soul is wandering aimlessly in a town where everything seems to be closed. It's a big sound. There it is. Take it away, Soul.
Whoa. This is a big town. I wonder why does everything look like it's closed? That's strange. This isn't gonna help me. Dang it. I really need to get a new saxophone. I wish I would have not forgotten what I did with it last time. Ah, man. Man. For want of a saxophone. Is there any stores I can... No, that one's closed too. Gosh, what am I gonna do? Oh. What is that? Oh, it looks like that store's open. Jeep's Emporium. Okay. Yeah, maybe he's got something. Hello? Excuse me? Is anyone work here? Oh. Wow, he's got all sorts of stuff here.
Yeah! Hello! Haha! That was my magician appearing trick! Hello, customer! Welcome to Jeep's store! Jeep's Emporium! We have everything! I have everything! And as you know, today is Everything is Closed Day! Except for Jeep Store! I'm open even when I shouldn't be! Welcome, customer! Hey, you don't wear a hat, you don't have a hat, that's weird to me. How are you today?
Oh, gosh, yeah, you're right. Did I leave my hat back somewhere, or... Oh, there it is. It was on my head. I forgot.
Ooh, stylish. You know, I have a hat like that, but I just can't take this one off at the time. So, what can I get you today, strange customer? Are you from out of town?
Yeah, you could say that. I'm traveling. I left my saxophone. I don't remember where I put it. I remember I had a rubber ducky, and I remember they told me to put the ducky down, and I didn't do it, and now I forgot my saxophone. And can you help me out? I don't know where it's at. I really need it. You know.
Fret not, customer from out of town and rubber ducky lands, for I, Jeep, have everything. I don't just advertise that because I'm bullshitting people. I actually do have. I even have bullshit, but that's not what you want.
Do you really? Do you really have it?
Oh sure, it's down the manure aisle. But do you want to take a look? I got.
Oh no, yeah, my senses are tingling right now. I trust you on that one.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't have a nose, so it's not a problem for me. That's no biggie. So you say you need a saxophone. Well, I happen to have that, but first, may I interest you in this fine little tapestry I have back here? While you're here, it's only all it costs is like $500, and that's the down payment. Eventually, it's going to cost you every penny you own, but it's worth it because it's beautiful.
Is that dog fur?
It used to be until I changed it with a few ingredients here and there,
Oh.
but
Yeah, I think I'll pass. Thank you. I think I'll pass on that.
oh, that's fine. If you're not interested in our once dog for tapestry, well, what I also have for you is, well, I've got those pictures back there. Give me everything you got currently on you right now, and you can have half a picture. I can cut it in half. I've got a frame cutter right here. Yeah, but it'll be worth it, because then when I sell the other one to some other gullible, wonderful customer, you two can, like, unite, and it'll be like your long-lost brothers or sisters or something like that. And there'll be a connection, and it'll be all thanks to me. What do you say? You want one of that?
Are those bloodstains on the pictures?
Yes. But that's because when I was moving them, I cut my hand. I didn't shoot a frog that was standing on there.
Oh.
Are you interested in frogs? I have a collection of frogs. It's down the amphibian aisle.
Oh, no, that's okay. I actually collab with the frog every weekend or every week, so no, that's okay. I'm good here. Thank you.
That pisses me off. Because I don't like frogs.
What? What's wrong with frogs?
They smell funny. Even though I can't smell them, I assume they smell funny in my head. But you know what? You're my customer, and the customer is always right, I guess. Okay, so you're not interested in
so
what does you want again? Explain to me again, please.
I'm looking for a saxophone. See, it's like a big instrument. It looks like a.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's like a cross between a labradoodle and a lamppost, and it's all shiny and chrome, and it goes. Yeah.
Wow, you're good.
Like
are you in a band? You should be a professional.
I'm not in a band, but what do I do? No, I need my saxophone. What?
My kind of guy. Oh yeah, all right, okay. I get it. You need a saxophone, but you're not gonna tell me why. That's cool. For the record, if I throw in the saxophone, you can get a very free, very honest, nothing dirty ID reveal device. You just point at somebody's face, and you get all their social media information, their bank accounts. Do you mind staring into the phone? Hold on, I can go get it. I'll show you how it works. I'll show it on you, and then you can use it.
No. That sounds great. But no, I really need a saxophone, and I really need to get out of here. So yeah, if you could show me just where the saxophones are, that would be great. That would be just the bee's knees. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, you said you need a saxophone, right?
Yeah.
Do
you have a saxophone?
Of course I do. I have everything. But I thought you said you wanted a Chevrolet. So you tell me you want first you tell me you want a Chevrolet, and now you tell me you want a saxophone. I'm very confused. What? I have a Chevrolet, but it will cost you a leg, literally a leg. And then I can sell you my mechanical legs to replace your missing leg.
I don't think I need a Chevrolet or mechanical legs.
Who doesn't need a mechanical leg or a Chevrolet, dude? What the heck? What kind of a customer are you?
I don't need I'm not Star Fox. I don't need mechanical legs.
Very well. I'll get you what was it again?
It's
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. A trombone. Yeah. The trombone. Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
No, saxophone. But yeah.
Right. Saxophone. Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. Slight problem. I do not have the saxophone in question, but I can make you one.
Well, you know how to make instruments?
I can make everything.
Whoa.
I can even make children without the use of another woman. But that's in a lab, and we won't go into that. That's in the process. I hope one day I can create life that doesn't die upon breathing the atmosphere. But dreams are dreams for a reason. They don't always come true.
Yeah. Dreams are. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Laugh with me. It's a jolly good time. No.
You got that saxophone now? You got that saxophone?
My dear friend, I've got a saxophone. My mentality. My brain is picking up the voices again. I hear the voices. Someone asks. Someone named
the voices.
Gundam Ving Zidovan. Another woman. GEEP is
interesting.
GEEP is female. No, No, when I say
Interesting.
another woman, I'm talking
I
about...
only hear a dog.
I hear the dog, too! What the fuck? I killed all the dogs!
You have a lot of strays around here?
Maybe it's a ghost. That happens a lot. No,
Ghost dog.
Jeep is not a woman. Jeep is Jeep. When I say another woman, there was a woman here. She agreed to try and make babies with me. It didn't work out. Bottom line, she's gone. She's out of my life. I don't need her anymore. And I stuck her in a painting. But she wanted to go there. It was voluntary. She said she wanted to live forever. So I knew how to do that. Put her in a painting. We don't have it here. I hid it somewhere because people get freaked out seeing the horror on her face. Anyway, let's go make that saxophone for you. Follow me to my basement of creations. And you don't have a choice in the matter because it'll be free.
The basement of creations.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I want to go down there?
Because it's free and you are desperate for a saxophone.
Yeah. Let's yeah.
And so they entered the next place. Ha ha ha! Yes, we have arrived. Now, I will make you your saxophone using magic.
Basement?
Oh yeah, we came from all the way down there. This is one heck of a basement. It's a hallway basement.
This actually looks awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Like this.
I designed it myself after I killed the designer. He actually deserved it because he was trying to kill me first because he said I ripped him off. And that's not a reason to kill somebody. You kill people because you are being threatened, not because you get ripped off. He deserved death.
Wait, so you were ripping him off?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time, but not with you. You have to trust me on that. All right, let's whip out the old cauldron.
You need a cauldron in order to create in order to work on a saxophone?
Of course.
Oh, it's got green stuff in it.
That green stuff is the manure, and it's also a little bit of paprika and just a hint of tarantula. So we're gonna make you a trombone and a Chevrolet.
Saxophone, but you know.
Saxophone.
Oh, is that my mother calling? No, of course not. She's
no.
not here, I think I heard
by
my
the way,
mother
Soul. By the way, I'm calling you Soul because there's a price to be paid to make something out of nothing or a bunch of poo-poo. The price is either your soul or your head. So which are you least attached to, so to speak? Yeah.
But I mean.
Come on, you can tell me.
First off, how do you make something out of nothing? Like the law of equivalent exchanges, you know.
I just told you the exchange is your head or your
taught me that.
Your head or your soul. That's how you do it.
Oh no.
Oh, you look terrified. No. That's good. So you want me to use your head? I got an axe.
What? No, but my head is attached to my body. It's kind of important, and you can't remove my soul because it's I need my soul. I mean, it's literally in my name. I mean,
that's your name.
Look, I should really get going.
Binding spell. Jeep a la bind. Nanga bunga bunga jika bunga bunga bunga. I'm obviously saying make a bunch of made up sounds because I didn't pre-plan this. Ha! You are bound to my dungeon of creation, Soul, and I have shrank you to a potable size. I also took off your legs. Don't worry, they're just invisible. They're still there. Your legs are still there.
Oh my gosh, what did you do with my legs?
Oh, the binding spell. It
clipping right through the spell of binding. What is this?
Well, simply put, you cannot move until the transaction is complete. So I
still hear that dog, by the way.
Me too. It's excited. I think that is one of the dogs no, that's not the dog I killed. It's some kind of that's gotta be like your spirit.
In the cauldron.
No, it's not in the cauldron. The cauldron doesn't say shit. Anyway. So let's put this in there right now. First, we're gonna put in this lovely kitchen set that we need to make the go. Just get right in there.
A kitchen set. Ooh, that actually looks like a nice kitchen set.
It was. You had to get rid of nice things to make nice things. And we'll put in this miniature chair. Yes, there you go.
Oh, I see where
And
this is going.
now we need the final, tasty, the pièce de résistance ingredient. Your head or your soul. Soul. Make the choice. Don't worry, take your time, I understand. And while you're taking your time, would you be interested in our free mileage for the Chevrolet I'll be throwing in? You can drive the car for at least 2 centimeters, and after that, it's a penny for every centimeter you drive. But it's totally worth it, because the drive is great, and it guzzles down gas like no one's business, but...
Wow, what a deal.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, what do we get out of this?
What do you mean, how do you get out? I told you. Offer your soul or your head. Choose, choose, choose. You're not getting out of this anyway. This is how my store works. You see, the reason that my basement looks like this is because those green strips going around the sides are magical binders so that I can use my binding spell. It also traps anyone in here who's looking for something in my shop. And since you entered my shop, we have entered into a contract, so to speak, that what you are looking for is what binds you here. And until you receive it, you may not leave my store.
I didn't sign any contract.
No.
Where's my lawyer?
You signed the contract the moment you said you needed something from me. You see, I'm also a part-time devil. But don't worry, you can take your time. I could turn on relaxing music. Do you like Bach? Beethoven?
I actually love Bach.
Yeah, he's awesome. But you know what? I am getting a little impatient because, well, I have to go take a little tinkle pretty soon, and I don't want to pee in front of the cauldron. It judges me for the size of my willy, and it's not very fun. So, you gotta make a decision within the end of my countdown. I will count down from 5 seconds because I have 5 fingers, and I can count to 5 because I just have to look at my fingers. And you will decide by the end of it. And if you do not, I will decide for you. So,
wait a minute, you have
5.
You have 5 fingers? You don't have 10? Like, I got 10. Do you not have 5 on each hand?
I'm talking about one hand. I'm not going to count through both hands. Now, let me continue. 5. 4.
What do I do?
3.
What Anya do in this case?
I like the look of your head. I think I'm going to use that. 2.
Oh, jeez.
But your name is Soul, and so that would mean your soul could be extra, extra nuanced. 1.
It's a very good soul. It's a very good soul.
Huh?
God, what am I going to do? What do?
What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
What Anya do in this situation?
Hold on. I think that's your phone. Let me just
go
into your pocket here.
Oh.
How? Oh, that's right. These strips here give great reception. Then upstairs, I think this person's been trying to call you. It's left like a dozen messages. Hey, you'll listen to this phone call, and then I'll take your soul. So let's see here. I'm gonna manifest a phone down here because these phones don't work down here. Let me bring it. No, not that. That's the cooking set. Get back in the cauldron, you piece of shit. No, that's the chair. God damn, everything's trying to come out of the cauldron. Why did this always happen to me? Come on. There's my phone. Okay, so I'm just gonna put your smartphone onto this phone. You can't see it, people in my head, because it's invisible. But he does have a smartphone. Okay. And let me just, I'll do this for you because you've been so understanding and just a real trooper. Here, I'll put it to your head. You don't have to listen to anything. Just, I'll just put it over your face right there. All right, go ahead. Okay. Whatever the person says, it's apparently it's Anya. Here you go. Click. All right.
Oh, hey, hey, Anya.
Oh, they sound so close.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I'm kind of in a jam. I kind of got it over my head. I was trying to look for my saxophone. You know Yeah, that one. But
you're gonna get one soon.
Yeah, oh God, I'm gonna get something. It was the rubber ducky thing again. I didn't put the rubber ducky down when they told me to put the rubber ducky, and I lost my saxophone.
Maniac.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you have it? You have it with you right now? Oh, that's okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you're located at. Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Anya. Oh, you're a lifesaver. Literally. All right. I'll see you in a moment. All right. Bye-bye.
Well,
I actually, I guess I really don't need your saxophone because my wonderful, lovely dance partner,
I heard everything.
Has it with her, so I think I'm going to go
Yeah, no,
Get
the binding
my
spell has worn
saxophone?
off. Yep, nope. That's the thing. If you actually lie to me about what you needed, it frees you. So, can I help you with anything else? Is there anything else you need?
Oh no, I think I'm okay here. I am a-okay. I am good to
Are
go.
you sure? Are you sure? It'll just cost your soul or your head. I could maybe bargain for, like, an eye.
And no,
Anything
no,
you need, I can make it from my cauldron.
no, they got those new Pokemon cards coming out. No, no, I'm good.
Ooh.
I'm okay. I'm okay. But you keep the lights on, and I hope you have a happy whatever this business is. All right. See you later. All right. Where's that exit? Get out of here.
Uh, damn it. I almost had this one this time. Well, voices in my head. Looks like it's you and me again. The cauldron looks ready. Time to take a bath. And the end. Give it up for Soul, people. He didn't. This is an improv story. He wasn't ready. Thank you, Soul. Well done. That's the end of our impromptu story. We really just kind of came up with this on the spot. I mean, I had the idea, but Soul adapted brilliantly. I just didn't write it down. Come on, let me hear you in the chat.
What, 20 minutes ago.
Yes, literally.
Ago.
Great job, Soul. You're good at improv.
Oh, thank you. Well, I run a lot of RPGs actually, so you kind of have to be quick on the spot when you're trying to create a complex story, and then somebody in the party wants to do something completely random out of left field and be like, okay, all right, I need to figure this out. How to make this work with the story, and then you just roll with the punches. That's I may not always be the fastest at reacting or trying to figure out something, but when I can make something stick and it makes sense, I'll roll with it, so.
That Pokemon card bit almost made me break character. That was good. And I loved how you kept changing your face. That was awesome as well. Great job with that.
Yeah.
So again, give it up for Soul, folks. He did an excellent job, considering our last-minute improv, as it were, for our improv story. Thank you so much for doing this to me, Soul. I love performing with my guests.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for having me do this with you. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm glad. Awesome. No problem. Anytime, man. So, without further ado, if you're up for it, we will move on to the Celebration Appreciation Corner, where you can talk about the items in the creations in question. You up for that?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. There we go. Oh, Anya's not with us anymore, so I'll just remove that for now. Thank you for sticking with us, folks. Yep. I hope you were silently cheering for Soul, since you seem to be no interest in the chat. Again, lurking is appreciated, but Soul did an excellent job. He really did.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you think so.
I really do. I really do. You're you're straight man, as well as the rubber duck. Oh, I was about to lose with the rubber ducky. He had a perfect mix of the outside stranger with his own unique character quirks, so it was great.
Yeah.
All right, folks, so we are in the Celebration Appreciation Corner, and what we do here is anybody, including myself and my guest, talks about a particular work of entertainment that they appreciate or meant something in their life, brought them joy. It's all about the celebrating, all about really liking it. And Soul is going to talk about two. He's my first guest who's going to talk about multiple ones that he absolutely wants to. Well, technically, my second guest did the same thing, but he didn't really have anything planned. So both of these were already planned in advance. So we'll get with the first one that Soul wants to talk about. The very first work that he appreciates and likes is going to be the universe of BattleTech.
Yeah.
There it is. Take it away, Soul. Tell us what it is about this that means something to you. Why do you like it? Why do you want to share it with us?
Well, starting off, besides, my love for aviation, I've also had a huge love of robotics and mechs, the mecha genre, stuff like that. Ever since I was a kid, starting out with Transformers, when I was really young, and eventually that would boil over into other types of, robot-oriented shows and stories and stuff like that. And eventually it would cross paths. My interest into that stuff would cross paths with a series, a PC simulation series called MechWarrior, specifically MechWarrior 2, back then.
Okay.
And I didn't know at the time, but the MechWarrior PC games, in which you play a mech warrior in giant vertical combat tanks known as
Oh, I'm
battle
sorry,
mechs.
Soul. Just one second. I'll pause right there. We'll
Oh,
come back to the Mech Wars. We did just do
okay.
a performance. I'm wondering, do you want to hydrate before you continue?
Oh, I'm okay. Actually, I already had some water earlier, so I'm good.
Okay, proceed. So we talk about the Mech Warrior. Go on.
Yeah, yeah. So, Mech Warrior is a PC a PC mech combat game or simulation game.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had a lot of games, but I specifically got it in it with the second one. And this guy over here that we're seeing on the screen is known as a Timberwolf or a Mad Cat, depending on what side you're talking to.
Cool.
And this is like the poster child of the franchise. This guy right here, this
Oh.
75-ton Omni mech is feared and loved and hated by multiple people, both in and out of the universe.
So he's kind of like the one where if this is displayed in any place, people know, okay, it's a Universal BattleTech. He's
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
pretty
iconic.
much. Oh yeah, this is an incredibly iconic design. So basically, big stompy robots, fighting in a big interstellar war. Like that's my jam, right? That's the stuff I'm into. And then eventually later on, in like was like high school, college stuff like that, I later found out that MechWarrior is a PC game for the universe of BattleTech, which started out back in 1984 as a tabletop board game, like a tactical board game of moving around mechs and stuff on
Yeah.
and have all these rules and stuff that would simulate mech warfare according to the rules of how mechs work in this particular universe. And so, once I kind of put two and two together, I started reading the books, started getting into the actual tabletop side of it and whatnot. Then, afterwards, my interest in the series really just took off from there. And it's had a bit of a rough time, depending on what like decade we're talking about, as far as like its popularity and like where it's had a lot of ups and downs. Thankfully, recently, just within this past like several years, it's had a big resurgence. A lot of
Yeah.
things with the licensing and Kickstarter and stuff like that has really helped breathe new life into the universe. In fact, they're actually doing a bunch of I won't say reboots because they're not really rebooting anything. They're more like it's more like a soft reboot where they're basically reintroducing BattleTech to newer generations.
Sure.
A lot of the rules are refined, but there's still a lot of the same rules that existed in the 80s as far as the tabletop stuff goes. But everything's being redesigned, as you can see. This awesome Timberwolf here. I love to call it the Timberwolf, by the way, because that's how I learned about it.
Yeah.
This design here, this was a recent redesign. The original design that was introduced, I want to say in the early 90s, still looks great. I actually have a T-shirt of that old design.
Oh, awesome.
But this is the newer design. A lot of the redesigns they did for the mechs, thankfully, are just they all look amazing. They all kind of have almost like a Japanese mecha kind of stylish look
Yeah.
and quality to them, which is actually interesting because even though this series was created over here in the West, by Jordan Wiseman, and originally was from FASA, and then it changed over a bunch of hands and stuff. But the
Sure.
mechs, actually, a lot of the mechs, the early mechs that were in the designs were actually mechs that they had licensed from various Japanese artists in the 80s, from like the same mecha you would see in series like Macross, Dogrum, Crusher Joe. A lot of those mechs that were in that series, they actually licensed those designs to bring them over into to use for their board game
Neat.
and stuff. And so like a lot of their earlier stuff was like straight up just Japanese mechs from anime from the 80s that they just used for their universe. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of legal issues
Yeah, I can imagine.
once Harmony Gold got well, and that right there, that is a lecture. That's probably a good hour lecture just to go through all the nonsense that have happened with that. But
Oof.
thankfully, the past couple years they actually won some court cases when they got brought back to court again for all these redesigns and all this other stuff.
Dang.
Thankfully, it's no longer an issue now, and they actually can use those. They can use those mechs that that they had originally gotten, or that they originally paid the artists for, or at least the basic designs. They redesigned them all. So if you look at them and you look at the old designs, you'll be like, "Yep, that's the same mech, but this looks just different enough to where it fits the universe now. It's not just a straight port."
Man, that's a lot of
So
passion for that. I'm so glad they had the passion
oh
for
yeah,
to go through all those legal battles and bring it back. They really love it, even though it's had up and down.
oh
That's
yeah,
great.
oh yeah. But yeah, gosh, yeah, just the BattleTech universe. Just it's a very unique universe because it's a series in the far future about humanity expanding out to the stars. But the big difference with it compared to like other kind of sci-fi series is that it's very human centric. There's no they're not. It's not like Star Trek where they're dealing with other alien races. It's humanity is expanding and humanity is really its own worst enemy. So it's basically humanity trying to fight with itself as it tries to survive out in the universe, and you can draw a lot of parallels between it and a fantasy series that a lot of people got into big time called what was it, the Game of Thrones series.
Ah,
As far as like various great houses, which are like feudal lord houses, because
ooh,
that's how it's ran in this universe because of the way how space travel works and communications. It's very slow.
yeah,
It's not like Star Wars or Star Trek where you can just jump into an area and get communications and people in and out of systems really quick. It's all very slow, the way the technology works. And so
yeah,
the only way systems of government could exist in those huge spaces, they had to resort more to I guess you could call it like a neo-feudalistic society, where
yeah.
they
That's
have
a
their
clever
spaceship, they
blend.
got their lasers, they got all that cool stuff, but it's all, that everyone has vassals and you have, lords and titles and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I see.
And so
That's nice.
you have, these five great houses of the inner sphere, they call them, and then you have a bunch of other smaller nations on the outside called the periphery.
This lore with all the houses, was this
Yeah.
present when it first began, or did this come in the '90s, or is this modern right now?
Oh no, this has been lore since the original came out in 1984. So like I keep telling people, because basically the basic premise is that humanity expands out to the stars. Eventually, a lot of individual nations start to form. They start to break away from Earth, and they become their own thing. They eventually become the great houses in the inner sphere. And there's a lot of infighting on who wants, basically who wants to have more territory and all this other stuff, and it gets really, really bad, like really bad. And then eventually, a new power from Earth basically comes up and is able to unite all the great houses under a common banner called the Star League, where all the different member states, they all still have they still have their claims, they still have their nations,
Yeah,
but they all kind of work together under a single banner. And for a while, it kind of works. There's a moment of peace that everyone enjoys. For the most part, there's a lot of shadow wars happening in the
yeah.
background. There's a
Lot of
lot of
tension.
stuff happening. Yeah, but for the most part, if you're just like a casual observer, like, oh, this is pretty cool. But if you're on certain sides of the aisle, you're like, oh man, this really sucks. But unfortunately, it all falls down, from within. It's kind of like the fall of Rome, actually. And so,
Ooh,
because of which, there is a vacuum of power that needs to be filled on
sure.
who is going. Because everybody, even though House Cameron, those are the guys that were rolling. They're the ones in charge of the Star League. Their house falls, and now all the other great houses are like, oh, well, we claim the title of First Lord, basically, the head honcho that runs Star League, because of this, or because of our history with this, or because of our dealings with this, or
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. And so now all the factions are fighting each other, in these what do they call them? Wars of succession, to try and succeed as the
The head of it all.
as First Lord, yeah. And so it like I tell people, it was the concept was like Game of Thrones, several years before Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
except with giant mechs in the future. And so
that's a good comparison. That does sound
yeah.
very like. Go on.
Yeah, so, and then I can get into a lot more. Like there was 4 succession wars, by the way, which spanned over 300 years of them constantly being like, "Nope, I'm gonna be First Lord. Nope, I'm gonna be First Lord." And then, even more history happens, much further out. Like the clan invasion,
Yeah.
which is, we're getting into lore that would have to be even have even more, explanation. But it goes into clan invasion, the Civil War, and just all sorts of other, like just like there's a lot of lore. They've been constantly expanding, the lore of the series ever since the 80s. And in fact, actually, the most recent lore they're actually expanding. What? Let's see. I would say, let's see. Right now, I'm playing a game called MechWarrior 5. And that game is set in 3015, which is like when you're first getting into BattleTech, that's kind of like the beginner area. And then once you get further out, like 3050, that's the clan invasion, and then further out than that, that's the Civil War, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Now they're at like they're just writing stuff, and they're gonna just start release stuff for the era of like 3150. So now it's like, oh, it's over 100 years,
And
compared to where
and
I'm at
this,
with MechWarrior
this
5 right now. So
yeah, and this is for like the modern game, or is this the game that's most recently released? What the story is at right now, right?
where the most current story is. But the thing is with BattleTech is that you have a lot of fans that you have the old school fans that grew up with like the Succession Wars stuff, and when the clan stuff came out in the 90s, um, a lot of fans were like, this is horribly imbalanced, and it was like the way they did things back then, like it was super cheap. But that was kind of the point, is that these clan invaders, which were a holdover from the Star League Defense Force before a lot of them decided to go into self exodus when the Intersphere started destroying each other. Like, yeah, this is crazy. You guys are destroying the dream. We're gonna leave and never
Yes.
come back. And then eventually they leave and they become their own society, and they get warped by I over 200 two to 300 plus years of isolation, and coming up with a new way of thinking, a new clan society. And eventually, like, you know what, I think it's time we return to the inner sphere and we make things right again. And we conquer the inner sphere, kind of thing. And so they re-invade. The people in the inner sphere thought they were aliens.
Yeah.
Invading aliens at the moment because their tech looks so different. And eventually, like, oh wait, no, these are those guys that left like over 300 years ago. Oh great, you know. And so there's a lot of people that don't like that. Me personally, I love that.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of when I got into BattleTech, was the whole clan tech and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Because this guy right here, the Timberwolf right here, is a clan mech. That hence why
Ah.
it's called a Timberwolf, because the Timberwolf is the original name given to it by Clan Wolf, designer of the Clan Wolf. In the Inner Sphere, Comstar identified it as a Mad Cat, because Felon Kell's
Okay.
Wolfhound mech was having trouble identifying it, because mechs in the Inner Sphere before the clan invasion, they had been the Inner Sphere as a whole, they kind of bombed each other back to the Stone Age. It's kind of an appropriate way to say, because they're basically trying to negate. They went from such technological marvels during the Star League, and then the succession wars that followed. Basically, they did the best they could to try and deny any sort of technological advance that the opponent may have had.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it pretty much degraded technology and just living standards and stuff
Oof.
so far behind of what was. Yeah, they lost so much progress, and so a lot of the mechs that they had were all kind of piecemeal from the stuff they still had, and the very few
Right.
plants that were
So
still active that they
yeah.
can
So
build stuff. They were just doing the best they could.
and
But
then therefore they couldn't really
yeah,
identify any fully complete mechs. So it was difficult.
yeah. So, well, for the these brand new mechs that nobody's seen before. This guy comes waltzing in, this Timberwolf here, and their computer is the Felon Kell's Wolfhound's computer is trying to identify the mech that is fighting him on this remote moon.
Yeah.
And there's two things specifically with this design here. This Timberwolf, looks like a cross between a Marauder and a Catapult. The Marauder, as far as like the the arm cannons that it has on it, and its unique shape of like the cockpit and things like that, and then the catapult because of the box the box LRMs on there, like the missile racks they have on the top, you know,
Yeah.
and the kind of like the chicken leg kind of like walker legs, you know. It looked like a cross between those, so it was constantly going between Mad and Cat, and so eventually they decided to just call them Mad Cat, you know. And so, yeah, a lot of the clan stuff, a lot of the clan invasion mechs and stuff like that, when it comes in,
Such an
they have two
intricate
separate
tale.
names. They have the original clan names, and they have whatever the inner sphere identifies them. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like NATO. You know, they have their own identifications and stuff like that.
That's
So,
so intricate, and clearly you're passionate about this one. I'm glad the universe of BattleTech brings you so much joy. Do you want to keep talking about it, or do you want to move on to your next one?
well, I mean, I could, oh, gosh, I could keep talking about this thing for hours. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, funny enough, I actually just bought some brand new books for it. What is it? I actually have it literally right next to me here. What did I buy? Let's see. I recently bought the BattleTech Tactical Operations book, which is their advanced rule set for the tabletop. And that's actually one more thing I'll bring up before we can move on is that besides like the video games and stuff like that, BattleTech as a whole has so much you can get involved with. The creators of the game actually went out of their way to simulate so many different avenues of what you can do in the universe. So, like I was talking about before, started off as a tabletop tactical war game. That rule set is now called Total Warfare. So it's like a combined arms game. Mechs are like the forefront of it, but you still have your vehicles, you still have your your aerospace stuff, you still have Navy, you have all this other stuff. You have infantry, soldiers. It all works together. It all has its place in the game.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can actually drill down to, instead of playing these big battles, instead you can drill down and you can just be the one soldier on the ground in a RPG style game. They have two different offerings for that. They have what is it? It used to be called Mech Warrior, surprisingly. Back in the 80s and 90s, they had an RPG system called Mech Warrior. But ever since Microsoft got a hold of the licensing, they're like, you can't use that name anymore. That's a name we own. So they're like, oh crap. So they're and BattleTech, unfortunately, just the nature of kind of how things were divided up back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have an RPG system called A Time of War, where you can basically play as a mech warrior or a soldier, or heck, you can play as like an accountant guy if you wanted. And so, but a lot of the rules are very similar. It's very compatible. And then you have the opposite, where instead of controlling individual mechs and lances, which is a fancy term of saying like a squad for like mechs, you have 4 mechs to a lance or 5 to a star, for talking about clanner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can drill up to where instead of controlling individual mechs and lances, you can now control mechs in like companies, to where it's more abstract. So now you're fighting a much bigger battlefield instead of like a small scenario. Now you're in a much bigger battlefield, and then they can drill up further than that, and you can command companies, doing planetary invasions. They have separate rules for how to do a planetary invasion, and then you can drill up further than that. It's like, oh, well, we're not just satisfied with planetary invasions. Let's drill up further and create a separate rule set system to where you can actually plan out naval invasions and learn how to like fight and take over like an entire solar system, And then you can drill up even further than that with a separate rule system called Interstellar. You had, if I can remember the books real quick, you have A Time of War. That's the RPG system, and then above that would be like Total Warfare, and then afterwards above that would be Tactical Operations, which is their advanced rule set. So you can do like planetary invasions and more advanced rules, and then above that it's Strategic Operations, which you can do like naval stuff in outer space and get involved with like solar system kind of like combat operations. And then above that you have Interstellar Operations, and that is where you can actually
And then above
drill it
that,
so high.
I was
You
like,
well, no, so Interstellar Operations. That's when you actually become the leader of an entire great house or a clan or a periphery member state, and you basically have abstract rules to where you literally play out like a giant strategic board game of you trying to take over the entire universe.
wow.
And so now you're no longer dealing with individual mechs. You're now dealing with like like spreadsheets of like mech divisions and your forces on individual planets and like
Universal management.
universal management, taxes, your technology base, just all sorts of stuff like that. Your dealings with other great houses. You can play at any avenue in this universe you want. They got the rules for it, and it's been like that for the past 30 years. And with the most recent stuff, they basically kind of straightening some rules out, fixing errors and things like that. But for the most part, all the rules are still the same. They've released new content, so if you want to do more of a Warhammer 40K style like tabletop war game, because that's popular. They have like faster rules that plays a little quicker like that. That are a bit more abstract on the rules compared to like the actual like tabletop war game, because the tabletop war game it's almost like D&D when you look at all the character sheets or
Sure.
they basically like each mech has like a character sheet equivalent you know of loadouts inside the mech, all the weapons, the heat it generates, if your armor gets hit, where on the mech does it hit, please point where on the mech where on the mech the long range missile touched you.
Yeah, it's nuanced and
Um,
detailed, so
oh yeah,
it's a very immersive experience kind of thing.
yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So
There
yeah,
you have it. There that one,
yeah,
folks.
yep. So yeah, that's where I'll leave that one.
Yeah, like you said, he can go on for this one. Clearly, again, he loves it. So
Oh,
thank
I
you.
can go on. Yeah, you
Thank,
don't want me to go on.
yeah. Oh no, thank you, the Universe of BattleTech, for giving Soul something that he clearly loves. So give it up for the Universe of BattleTech people before we move on.
Yay.
Okay, let's talk about the second one he wants to talk about, which is DCS World, I believe. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so let's just remove that right now. And... Jung... Jung! There it is. Oh, I'm on... My epaulets are on the title there. DCS World. This, if you were here with us from the beginning, I think you'll understand why in an instant why this one means something to
look at
Soul.
that, baby.
But
that's so awesome.
take it away. Give it to us. What is it about this one?
Okay, so DCS World, as you may have noticed, is a actually the name or the letters DCS stands for Digital Combat Simulations.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Mhm. And so it is
I do now.
it is a modern, well, I shouldn't say modern day, because now they actually have stuff from World War II as well. But it is basically it is it's a military military aviation simulation game where you play in very detailed aircraft, like this one right here, the F-14B, which is one of my personal favorites. I'm actually doing a series right now of me learning how to fly this bad boy.
Nice.
And yeah, it's you have there's been simulators. Simulators has been on the PC ever since the PC ever became a thing.
Yes.
Very very unique stuff. And there was all sorts of different series. They had the Janes series in like the 90s. The Altus Sturmovik for like the World War II stuff in like the early 2000s. And with this one in particular, DCS World, it originally started as a smaller series called what was it called? Trying to remember the full name. It's been so long, but Ubisoft published it. But it went under the name Flaming Cliffs for that particular title, and it was a low fidelity a flight simulator
Yeah.
And I say low fidelity. Low fidelity meaning like the flight model wasn't as advanced, or not as advanced as it could be. There's a certain level of simulation, but a lot of stuff is a little more automated with how it's programmed to possibly simulate, without without the a huge amount of data for like actual like flight data, and stuff like that. And the cockpits, even though they look great, you can't interact with them,
Oh.
and so which is okay if you're just learning.
Yeah, yeah.
You're starting out just learning, that's fine.
It's kind of fun
But
though. But go on.
yeah, but then you have DCS World here, which now you have what are called high fidelity models, which is the aircraft is they did the best they could to try and simulate all the good and all the bad of its real world counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
Everything inside the cockpit, like I want to say probably 95 to 99% of the stuff that's in the cockpit is fully interactable, and it does what it would do on the real aircraft.
Wow.
And so some of these aircraft, this literally getting into a simulation like this is as close as a civilian's ever going to get to actually starting up and flying one of these aircraft. And yeah, the F-14B here in this picture is one that I actually fly in a series called Parking Lot to the Danger Zone, which is my my F-14B flying series.
Yeah.
And sometimes I fly with other like fellow sim flyers or VTubers. For a while, I was doing multiplayer with a fellow VTuber called Ari. She loves doing flying. And my friend Mufi, he actually was involved in aviation and things like that. Like he was actually involved in the undertaking for some older flight series from like in the 90s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes we would all fly together under the name the Say So Squadron.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And I'm trying to make that like an actual thing.
The Say So Squadron.
So say just yeah, we're we're all we're all part of the Say So Squadron. But yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I have a huge, I'm a huge fan of aviation,
Yes.
military aviation, and this series is very special to me, as far as my interest, but it's also very special to me as it's not something I see other VTubers playing.
There you go.
This is very high level simulation stuff, and so I think I may be the only one of the few. I don't want to know if I don't know if anyone, like I've seen like I'm maybe one person like with a PNG flying, but
Yeah.
I don't see VTubers playing this game.
So it's like you found like a little known secret.
Yeah, so I'd like to think, I don't know how true it is, but I'd like to feel like this is kind of a niche game for me,
Yeah, exactly.
And from the numbers I get from the people that would join in on my streams, as well as those that watch it afterwards, is playing DCS World on my channel is my #1 game. So it's like, all right, if I want to have really good numbers this week, I'm gonna play DCS World for Turn and Burn Tuesdays.
Now that's some clever marketing right there. And you found a little like the niche spot, and it will draw those who are looking for this. You did a great job.
Yep. For everyone out there who's interested, Turn and Burn Tuesdays. That's when I do flight simulators. I'll probably do. I'll actually probably play this game tomorrow because it's been a while, and I've actually been learning a lot more on how to effectively fly and use the F-14B. Fun fact: a follower and a fellow friend of mine, Mahuja, he's been dropping in and watching my streams and been kind of helping me out a lot with what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong.
Ooh, he knows the way around aviation as well.
Because he also plays DCS World as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just was it last week on Tuesday? Because I was playing a multiplayer match. The original person I was supposed to collab with, unfortunately, had to drop out because it like their computer kept crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that happens.
This game is a deceptively like very resource heavy game.
Sure.
because of the amount of simulation that goes into it. It may not look like it at the time compared to like other AAA games, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going into the background that's trying to simulate as much as it can. So it can be a bit of a drag. But yeah, the Mahuja, he was watching me trying to work on some stuff for the F-14, and he was like, "Hey, do you need a Rio? Because the F-14B here is a two-seater. So you have the person in the front, that's the pilot. They're the one flying the aircraft, and then you have the person in the back seat that's called a Rio, or a radar intercept officer. They're in charge of dealing with the incredibly powerful radar and the different types of weapon systems for the F-14B, so the pilot wouldn't have to worry about it. They basically have divided up duties so that way both can fully focus on their job. And that was the that was kind of how they operated back then with a lot of the more advanced aircraft. They still have two-seaters nowadays, but like that was the idea back then, is if we can put less of a workload on the crew, and have them be hyper focused on what they're doing, then together they should be able to work as a much more effective team compared to as an individual trying to deal with all this complex stuff. So he actually joined me during stream in the multiplayer match as my backseater. So
wait, were you friends with him before he joined, or did you just kind of meet right then and became friends?
So he would watch my streams.
Oh yes, that is what you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd watch my streams and give feedback, and during streaming he was like, "Yeah, I could drop in and be a Rio. I can help you learn some stuff." Because I was trying to learn how to do ground attacks with this thing, because I've only done like really like just air to air, air superiority with the aircraft. I haven't really dabbled into the air to ground tactics. I wasn't pulling Amelia in this one. I wasn't ground pounding with this aircraft very much. So so he basically dropped in, and in the stream it's literally him in the back seat. He's doing everything in the back seat. I'm in the front seat flying in this aircraft, trying not to get shot down, and we end up pulling off a successful ground attack mission. With it on stream. So yeah, it was really exciting, because he was handling the more complex stuff that I have no clue about, because I have not trained anything in the backseat yet for that aircraft.
And was he
well
versed?
To hand it all.
Yeah, he's a very reliable Rio, like you said. So was he just well versed in that position, or he kind of like knew the ins and outs of both sides? Was he like all?
I mean, he could do both sides,
Oh,
but
nice.
he was handling the Rio position as well as being a mentor, which correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think that's there are instructors out there in the Navy today that will kind of handle that. They will both be handling the back seat as well as kind of being a mentor for like newer pilots just coming into service. I know that there's other crews where that's not the case. The pilot does a lot of stuff on the for the Wizzos, they would just focus on their things and the pilot really calls the shots. But I know there's a lot of times where there are pilots coming in that are getting they're getting some lessons from like the Rios that have been around a lot longer and stuff. So it was kind of like that treatment.
There you go. I don't know what a Wizzo is, but I heard it from you, so it's got to be something.
Yeah, a Wizzo is a was it so many different it's a weapons weapons instrument something. I can't remember what it was. I'm more familiar with Rios, because that specifically deals with the F-14.
Yeah.
Wizzo is something that deals more with like was it like the FA-18E Super Hornet? That one's a two-seater, and so the back seater I believe is called a Wizzo, or it was a WSO, or WSO. I think that's it.
Got it. I was thinking like WIZZOS, like Wizzo, like that. So okay, got it. It's like Wizzo.
It was a weapons system officer is probably what it is actually.
There you go. That makes sense. Nice. DCS World, folks. This is his niche game. Check him out along with it. You want to talk more about it, or are you good there? I know you can. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Well, gosh, I'm trying to think here. Compared to BattleTech, like, I can't say there's a whole lot of like history or stuff that can really dive into the series. Outside the fact that it's so expansive, and they keep releasing newer stuff for it. And for anyone else out there who's actually interested in getting in the DCS world, by the way, DCS World was their grand kind of like uh baseline game code that all their future products would be under.
Yeah.
Originally, they had individual software. Like they everything was sold separately. And then once DCS World came out, that became the bedrock of all the future modules that they call them. Basically it's like the baseline software, and then you would purchase modules to add into it to enhance your experience and grant yourself new aircraft and scenarios and stuff that you can do. And so, yeah, that started in, gosh, I want to say probably the late 2000s, maybe 2010, somewhere around there. Yeah, probably early 2010s. Where, DCS World, for anyone who's interested in checking it out, the base game is free to download, free to play. If you want to kind of fly around and kind of see what it's like to be in a very, very heavy simulator.
Yeah, very realistic, very immersive.
Yep, the entry, price of entry, or should I say price for admission is free starting out.
Price of admission, $0. Price of fun, priceless.
Yep. Price of actual modules
varies.
That depends on like the F-14 here, this baby right here, $80.
Ooh, is that simulating?
It's a very complex simulator, and boy, oh boy, they spent a lot of time and effort making this thing as realistic as possible. And well, I mean, it comes with a price tag, but I tend to get my modules when it's on sale, like the Steam sale, or you can just go directly through them. And they really discount it, thankfully, so that way it's much easier to get into. But if you want to get into like let's say the F-15C, is a low fidelity aircraft from the Fleming Cliffs days. So to jump into that would be, it's like $15,
There you go.
So, much more reasonable.
Sure.
It's not as heavy as a sim, but it's still pretty realistic enough to be, if you're just jumping in and be like, oh man, this seems overwhelming.
Kind of like a good gateway simulator kind of thing.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. It definitely helped me out. I was starting out, and now I'm, frying the big fish, so to speak. But it's still definitely, don't
knock it just because it's less immersive. Yeah.
Don't lock it, because those aircraft can still rocket or rocket you. That was terrible.
That's all right. I'm sorry. We're not on the performance corner. It's okay. We're just in the chill and talk about what you love corner, so it's all good.
But for anyone interested,
it's free until the modules.
I do. Yep. It's if anyone wants to see me have fun, be silly, be a goof, and maybe crash on occasion, feel free to tune in on my streams on Tuesday for Turn and Burn Tuesdays. This week I wanted to change things up. I actually started streaming the other franchise that we had just gone over earlier, MechWarrior, specifically with MechWarrior 5 for BattleTech Tuesdays, I call it now. So
he'll keep it interesting.
Usually I do a Doki Doki stream with my friend and VTuber collaborator Froppy. Hence the reference earlier that I know a frog.
Frog. Oh, okay.
She's a frog princess.
Nice.
So, I would usually play DCS World before that. So, if some of you guys tuning in wonder why the heck do I have the call sign Doki Doki on my aircraft? Well, that's because I'm literally gonna go play Doki Doki with Froppy following this game. So you get both sides of the spectrum. You get this really, really complex, military air combat simulator, and then after that is literally a free to play visual novel horror game. So
there you go. It's a nice what's the word I'm looking for? Crossing of genres right there.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna. So we good, Sol? I'm just checking.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. DCS World. Thank you so much for giving Soul something else to dive into. And those of you interested, check it out and on his channel. For those of you just tuning in, his full name is SOLBADGREG. I will put it right now in the chat. If you type that up anywhere, you will find him since he is the only one. If you watch the VOD, you'll see how he came into that name and why it was a clever idea to find his spot so you can just look it up easily. Much like why he chose this game. It is clever marketing, clever way to expose himself. Not expose himself that way, okay? And
no.
No. We don't want that kind of internet culture here. I'm just talking literally exposure. There, how's that? So
we say so here.
Yeah, we say so here.
Unless if you ask chat, they'll tell you otherwise. Don't listen to them.
Okay, no, don't worry. Well, fortunately, they've been pretty quiet on listening this stream, so you must have been very entertaining. You got the ASMR soul voice going on here, so it's all good.
Oh gosh! Oh, don't bring up ASMR soul. No.
Oh no, that's a thing.
That's a channel. No, that's an actual channel name called Daddy Soul ASMR. That's a thing.
So we're back in this corner again. Thank you, DCS World Series. Thank you so much. So here's for that one, and now we are about to wrap up the show. So
yay!
Again, give it up for Saul. I was so nervous too because with your busy schedule, I was worried that I might have been bothering you or something like that.
That's good, man.
I'm really glad though. Thank you so much for just being a real Chad throughout today's show.
Oh, thank you. That's high praise, man. Thank you.
Yeah. No, really. Thank you. So, what we're gonna do now is what I always do at the end of a guest show. I tell you who my guest is coming up for next week, and then we'll come back, and then Soul will let you know what he has planned, so you can check him out. It's still the show is still about Soul, but I want to get you hyped for my next guest. So. Let me just make sure everything is good to go before I switch over. Okay, good. We are set to go. So, next week's guest, next Friday. I am very, very excited about this. Now, I mean this in the greatest way. No offense whatsoever to my previous guest, my current guest, or my future guest. But this guest is the person I look up to the most IRL. He's the most important person in my life. We're very close. He is my brother. My little brother.
Nice.
My little brother, yes. And he's not a VTuber, but he's willing to do this guest spot for me coming up. And his name is... Well, first of all, there's the time. April 23rd, Friday, 6:30 p.m. PST. And his name is... The Bee! Just The Bee. That's him. That's my brother. His
The
Bee.
The Bee. Oh, I saw the on the screen. I was like, oh, he's the. Oh, that's interesting.
The Bee. And his avatar is going to be a still PNG. Like I said, he's not a VTuber. He's still working on the design. You're going to enjoy it. We have a hilarious show planned for that. So please tune in. I love my brother. We've been close all our life, taking care of each other, making sure that we protect each other and inspire each other, hang out, the whole good brotherly stuff.
Nice.
And he is my IRL brother, so he's my actual blood brother right there. My little brother, too.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
So please tune in for that one. I want you to see what he's got. He is hilarious. He is awesome. Now, let's get back to my current brilliant guest, and Soul. All right, folks, so there you have it. That's next week. But now let's get right back to my current guest, as the show is about him. And so you see up there his handles. They are all the exact same name. Therefore, he did truly create a unique handle. You'll find him anywhere if you just type it up down there in the search engines. In any of those places, you will find him. I don't want to look like I'm... Hold on, I'm going to shrink myself. I don't want to be bigger than the guest. That's just kind of rude. There we go. So, before we end the show today... Tell them what you have coming up in your upcoming week so that way they can tune in. And then, aside from what you've talked about, let's just recap and go again. What do you have planned?
Okay, so after this stream, I'm going to be playing Ghost Recon Wildlands with my mod and fellow friend Gundam Wing, who is on the...
He's in the chat?
Show here. Yep, he's in the chat. We're going to be diving back into that game and seeing what's going on with Anya. Anya's a character in that game. She's currently in operation in South America right now, trying to defeat an evil drug lord and that's kind of the basis of the story of that game.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that was also kind of something I probably didn't really mention for me or Anya, is that even though both of us are dancers, we're actually combat instructors for a combat school called the Freedom Academy. It's like a private military academy.
There's a lot of good
And
lore
a lot
with
of
that.
and it all has to do with the RPG that I started last year, where that involves Anya and then eventually Soul. Although Soul and Anya don't meet in the first season, I'm actually going to be working on that for the second season. But for the sake of the stream, for the sake of my channel, I just kind of sped up to where they met. But yeah, a lot of lore into that. But yeah, basically, the gist is that she is sent out in South America right now to
Take down a
deal
drug
with
lord.
that situation. Yep. And so we're gonna dive into that after this stream to
Yeah, so
kind of
immediately
see where that's at.
Exactly. So when the stream ends, if you just can't get enough of Soul, join him on his stream, which he'll be hanging out with Gundam Wing.
Yep. And then this Saturday, I also have a stream planned with Anya. We're gonna continue our team building skills in the co-op Portal 2.
Ooh.
And that'll be a lot of fun. And then maybe because it just came out, the new expansion for Stellaris just came out. I may play that for stream. I'm not really sure.
Up in the air.
Like I said earlier, I'm trying to keep it relaxed
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So if I feel like it, I'll definitely yeah, let's stream it. But
Only if
the
you're
only
feeling
real
it.
thing I have, the only other real thing I have planned is the Portal 2 co-op with Anya.
Yeah, so that's definitely
yeah.
happening.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
definitely happening. You said tomorrow, right? Saturday.
Yes.
What time? Do you have a time?
We don't have a time built out just yet, but I do let people know on my Twitter.
There you go.
If 3 or 4 hours beforehand when it will go live. So
Perfect. So be on the lookout, folks.
Once we find out what the time works best for us, we'll definitely throw that out for everyone. So,
There you go. So Anya and Soul.
Yeah.
Anya was here earlier for those just joining us. They collab live. She's his dance partner. They're doing that tomorrow.
Yes.
And again, follow Soul tonight. Check him out. It's cool, mellow dude. Very easygoing. He was a wonderful guest. And follow him as soon as the show is over. So let's see. I already went through my announcements and the next guest. You can catch me on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. PST. That's my time when there's no guests. It's just me going solo. But, so tune in if you like. And I always do tune, spelling Toon. I know that's not the correct tune in. I am aware of this. Just to make this clear. I just like the idea of being a cartoon. So, give it up for SOLBADGREG, everybody. Wonderful. Very articulate. Knows what he likes. Improv extraordinaire on short notice. So, again, he's moving over to the stream, and as I always say before closing, what I always say to my guests and everyone, remember, stay cool, stay sharp, Soul and Jeep out!